Oh, we are live. Hi everyone, this is Paul Turner, part of the 4K Club, a little group of us trying to help people get to $4,000 rather, a month's residual income on the way to more. We're just kicking off, it's a few minutes past 8, we're expecting some more people come on. I see we've got some viewers, so we'll probably just give it a couple of minutes before we really get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's things. So we've got Mark Simmons and Sarah Olney on board already. How you doing, Mark?
Yeah, very good, thank you. Keeping busy. How about you?
Well, I'm doing a hangout, so yeah, I'm keeping busy. I've got to move my light because it looks like light keeps shining out of my head. How are you doing, Sarah?
Yeah, really good. Thanks very much, Paul.
I have to say, fantastic effort on getting people to come and look at the webinar.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries. It's
It's nice to have them here.
Are you going to have a halo today, Paul?
That's what I'm aiming at. I'm trying to just position it right. Because last week we had lots of shooting.
Oh, that was amazing.
And lights and things like that.
That was so amazing.
I think this group must be wanted. Apparently our bathroom's haunted.
Is it?
My wife has some weird, spooky friends, and one of them's psychic, and she says there's somebody in the bathroom. Which, if you're going to be a ghost, I could think of better rooms. Sorry?
Well, my
cottage
where I'm sitting now is about 400 years old, but if I light the candles and I focus, I can get the candle light to dance even without any drafts. But I don't do that very often.
Did you have beans for dinner?
No, fish and chips. Because we were doing the hangout, so we went and bought our dinner.
Right, okay, fair enough. Well, I make it 5 past. What about you guys?
Yeah, I do as well.
Right, okay, then we'll kick off and we'll get into it. If you're watching this on the web page that we put out, I've put a link above the video. If you want to join us on the panel, if you click that link, it will put you live on the hangout. If you can't see that link, it says if you want to join us live, click here or something like that. If you can't see that, if you hit F5 on your keyboard, it will reload the page. That will come on, and you're welcome to come on so you can ask questions and talk to us as we go. So first of all, let's do an income disclaimer, because I like to do things properly, legally and ethically. Although the kind of things that we're teaching work for a lot of people, we obviously can't make guarantees that you're going to earn actually any income out of this, and no business opportunity, whether real online, can make that promise. So therefore, we don't know you, we don't know how hard you work it. Like most things, it takes effort. So that's that covered. That's sort of the housekeeping. Let's turn the chat on. Yeah, chat's on the side there if you want to ask questions that way, if that's right. Okay, so last week we spoke about 4K Club and what we're trying to do, and basically, in a nutshell, we're trying to get to $4,000 a month. $4,000 a month residual income would mean most people can quit their job, so that's kind of like why we've set the figure where we have. We're going to do this hangout is all about really how you can get people to talk to, and why we want to talk to people. So we're going to cover that. We're going to try and generally keep these hangouts to about 30 minutes, 45 minutes. So it'll probably be about 30 minutes of me waffling on, and then we'll take questions and see how many questions we get. Okay, how do you get people to talk to you about your business, and why do we want to talk to them? The way I see it is like this. I saw a film once, and a bloke was being chased. Some chap was being chased by someone else, and they were in this big house, like this big mansion. And the bloke being chased managed to get a lead on the other guy, and he ran into a room, and he pulled the door closed behind him, and then he thought, I know what I'll do, I'll stop this guy getting in. So he got a big heavy table, and he dragged it like this, really, really tough, got it in front of the door, and that table obviously weighed a lot, and he thought that's gonna help, but it's not enough. So then he went, and he got a big armchair, and he started dragging this big armchair over. and he managed to lift it up, and he put the armchair on top of the table and got that there. Then he went and he got lamps and he got books and anything he could grab he put on top of this table and the chair, and piled up all this stuff in front of the door so the bloke couldn't, get in. So remember what I said though, he pulled the door closed behind him. So of course the guy on the other side, when he got there, all he did was open the door. There was nothing barricading it. All he had to do was crawl under the table to get to the guy. Now, the way I see it, a lot of the business opportunities online and the sort of lure, if you like, of being an internet marketer is that you just press a few buttons, you do a few things, and people will come and join your business. Once you start doing that, you suddenly learn that you've got to learn how to blog. And for a lot of people, that's a challenge. You've got to learn how to do Facebook ads. You've got to learn how to book solo ads. You've got to learn how to distribute content. You've got to learn how to get social sharing done. And there's a lot of things to learn. And to me, that's like moving the heavy furniture. When you start a business, you start it because you want to make money, not because you particularly want to learn how to do all these things. So, start like the guy missed the fact that the door pulled closed behind him and all the other guy had to do was open it. I think sometimes you miss what's right under your nose. And with the opportunity we're in, that is great to help grow another business. We're not trying to take anyone away from another business at all. We're trying to help you get another income stream, or more likely a marketing budget for your current business. But you only need a team of 32 people with what we do to get $4,000 a month residual income, just 32 people. So why do you want to spend all the time trying to learn to do solos and risk money on solos and try and risk money on pay-per-click ads on Facebook when you can just literally go and talk to people and network? Because that's what the business is called. That's what the industry is. The industry is called network marketing. So how do you get people to talk to, and how do you get those conversations over clicks is what I call this. So talking to people, conversations over clicks, at least cover your monthly cost or get into profit before you start trying to learn all the other complicated stuff that doesn't always seem to work anyway, if I'm honest. Any questions so far? Is that clear?
Yeah, it is for me, Paul.
No, that's
cool. What about you, John?
Yeah, no,
welcome, by the way.
Very good. Thank you.
Okay. You haven't seen it all yet? Might be rubbish. Right. I think what I'll do. What I'll do is I'll share my screen and I'll literally just show you some of the things I do to go and start talking to people. When it comes to what to say, tomorrow we're going to have a hangout with our mentor Darren Little. He's agreed to come on and do a hangout with us, 8 o'clock UK time, which I believe is 12 noon PST. So stick that in your diary. If you're interested in coming along to that, ask the person that invited you to this hangout and they'll send you a link and they'll sort you out. But 8 PM UK time, 12 noon PST, we've got Darren Little, who is the absolute master at this, who taught me this stuff, that got me 25 new recruits into my network marketing business in 1 month. 25 in a month. That's down to Darren, and he's actually joining us tomorrow. So obviously he's a busy man. He was a self-made millionaire. He doesn't have a lot of time to do this. So get on there if you can. It'll be worth it. At least watch the recording. Right. So without further ado, let me jump on share screen.
Paul?
Yeah?
If we miss that for tomorrow night, is there going to be a replay?
Yes, it'll be recorded.
Good.
Thought you'd say that. Okay, so this is my Facebook page. Now, I tend to focus on Facebook. There are, I forget the numbers, but it's over 1 billion people on Facebook, and you need a team of 32. 32 out of 1 billion isn't a lot. In actual fact, we say 4K, but we're actually on the path to make $25,000 a month, which is just a team of 200. And if you ask a lot of traditional network marketers, I'll tell you that 200 is a very, very small team. So I focus on this. Sarah Olney's going to do a hangout for us on using LinkedIn, aren't you, Sarah? You? One night, and obviously if you want to do paid ads and so on, you can. You just got to make the commitment that you're going to go and get at least 4 people, and then everybody will have a good business. So first thing you can do, you can put posts on your Facebook timeline. So let me show you mine. I haven't actually been posting much, so you'll still see how it helps. Now, when you put posts on your Facebook wall, try different things. One method is to do what they call shock and awe. So it's got to stand out, and when you scroll down a typical Facebook page, what stands out tends to be things like this. Okay, you know, people can see Leonardo DiCaprio there. That doesn't stand out. That doesn't stand out. Do you see what I mean? It's just boring. That might stand out. Something I put on today. Picture of a homeless guy. Yes, it's me. It's not. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 6 others. So 9 people have liked it.
I think the other thing, Paul, is probably worth saying that you can't have every post standing out because it loses its impact. So you do need the other styles around it, don't you?
Well, the thing is, okay, so I've put that picture there has got 9, okay, 9 likes. The other one that's Leonardo DiCaprio has only had 1 like, okay. Now, talking of what you're saying there, Mark, an ideal thing there to prove your point is this here. Why do people insist on sending you links to their business opportunity without even saying hello?
How many likes
1,
did that one get? Oh.
2, 3, and 35 there. So 38 likes from all these people, many of whom I don't actually know. Many of whom are new. Okay.
And it's funny, I get the same thing. So that's yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. And then 34 more comments there. So 34, 35, 36. That's me. So 37 comments on that one, and like I'm saying, put pictures in that stand out. That doesn't stand out really, but look, it's still got shock and awe factor because it's talking about the industry. And with some of the other things I'm going to show you tonight, you'll see a lot of people that you're going to connect with are going to be in the industry anyway, and they're kind of our ideal target. But you see that one, you can't plan this stuff, guys. You just need to put stuff out, and then something will land. Now, when you put stuff out like this, somebody comes and likes your post or they comment on it, what do you think we do then?
Say hello and thank you.
Yeah. Exactly, that's all. It's called network marketing, not pitch me your business marketing, twist my arm behind my back to get me to join marketing. Tell me how great your company is and how great the vitamins are and the fact that the company's done millions and millions and millions of pounds of turnover, but I'm still broke, but you should still join me kind of business. It's networking. So really, forget selling. Honestly, it seems crazy. And Darren will cover this more tomorrow, I'm sure, and we're going to cover it in future trainings and webinars. But the point of this hangout is just really to sort of show you how you can connect with people, because that's a question I get all the time. Oh, I don't know anybody. You know, this is quickly how you can get to know people.
Paul, can I ask a quick question?
So, yeah, of course you can, Mark.
Just in terms of where do you tend to post? Do you post in your profile or do you do more in groups?
Tend to be more profile nowadays, Mark.
Right. Is that because you have more success?
It's because I've built my friends.
Yeah.
See, Darren says, you know, he's recruited over 200 people, 240 something, I think now, all from just people that have liked comments on his Facebook wall. But if you've only got 100 friends, the average is 300. The average person apparently has about 300 friends on Facebook. You know, you're not, and some of those are probably old work colleagues or things like that. You're not going to kind of get 38 likes and 37 comments. I'm up to 1,510 friends now, which isn't a lot. Not a lot at all. And we're going to show you how you can get that, how you can get a lot more as part of tonight.
Well, is there a limit to the number of friends you can get?
Say that again, John.
Is there a limit to the number of friends you can get?
5,000.
Okay, all right.
But then people can follow you.
Okay.
But if you've got 5,000 friends, I mean, you should be well on the way. And I'm not talking about just getting friends for the sake of getting friends either. You know, they kind of want to be in the same industry, at least. You know, so there's some kind of something in common. It said if you can find 3 things in common with somebody, then you're a good fit. You'll like them. And I've got a fantastic trick. So this is not a trick. It's just using all there. You know, a fantastic way of shortcutting that as well. Surely. So post on your Facebook wall things that have got shock or industry related or self-development related. Self-development related is really good because this industry really is about self-development. Really, at the end of the day, it's about people getting the confidence and having the entrepreneurial spirit and being self-sufficient as much as it is talking about selling whatever product it is you're selling. It's more about network marketing. It's more about personal development. It's in disguise as network marketing. So I could come now, and I don't know Dale Copenhagen at all. I know Michelle, Matthew Simmons. I think we've had a quick chat in the past, but I don't really know. And I can click this link here and have a look. Because my computer's going really slow, of course. Always does when you do these things. Okay, Rick Dawson. Don't know Rick Dawson. We've got 103 mutual friends. So I can click on Rick's timeline.
Okay.
And I can find out more about Rick.
Oh, we got another person, Shannon.
Oh, I can't see you because I'm on screen. We have to start a little bit earlier than we said originally, Shannon, but I'll fill you in and you can watch the recording. Right, so I know he's in Ohio, and I can come here and I can look at his posts and stuff, and I might go and like it because what we're trying to do is not just we're not trying to sell Rick anything. We're just trying to network with him. And out of the people that you network with, some of them there'll be a fit. And again, Darren's going to talk more about this. I just want to show you how you can start talking to people. So forget selling. Just literally go and make friends and talk to people. Okay. So because I've liked that, Rick will see that. The world has brought a canvas to our imagination. So I like that. I might share that.
Jeez, I like that too.
Well, you can nick it from me, John, in a minute.
Thanks.
So I'm not going to put anything in because I'm just showing you, but you might want to put a message up there. That's up to you. So Rick, now I've liked one of his posts and I've shared something. Now, what does that say? If somebody does that for you, how do you feel? That what I'm posting must be good enough for somebody to share. And
you get warm fuzzies.
Warm and fuzzies, as Dan calls it. That's one way of connecting with Rick without actually being in his face and connecting with Rick. Okay? And how long does that take, guys? You can run this business in an hour a night. So the other thing I might do though is I might go. No, I'm not going to do it now because I don't want to get in a chat with Rick. But I put something like this.
Wow.
Hi, Rick. How's it going? Thanks for the comment. No, thanks for the like, wasn't it? Insert like or comment, you know. Thanks for the like on my post.
Could you ask him if we can come over to his house for a party? Because that looks like a great house.
Yeah, and he'll pay the fare and everything, yeah? Yeah, thanks for liking on my post. Appreciate it. In fact, you can actually do it better than that. It's always better to finish on a question. But if you want a script, there isn't really a script, because what I might do is I might actually go and I might comment on that picture, like John's pulled that picture out, you know. So I'm finishing with how's it going. You could finish with that house cover photo. Do you live there? Don't you see that? It's natural. sent it now anyway. So what we're doing is I'm talking to people. A really good tip, guys, write this down. Treat Facebook as if you're at a party and the people are actually there.
Oh, that's a good idea.
You forget Facebook. Imagine I was actually walking up to Rick and speaking to him live. Because people seem to treat people differently on Facebook because it's on a computer. It's not. If you treat them as if you were really there with them, you'll behave differently. And that is the kind of thing that you'd say to somebody at a party or a networking event, isn't it?
Mm.
Okay? So that is how you can go out and reach people that you've had some kind of soft connection because they've liked or commented on your post. Does that make sense so far?
Yep.
Cool. So let me show you any questions while I just load this up. Oh, there it is. Okay. There's a tool you can use called PostCron.
Yeah, I was wondering.
And it's postcron.com. There's a free version, but it only lets you schedule, I think it's 10 posts. But what you can do with PostCron, you can set up a few social accounts, so into a group, a page, or your normal timeline. Twitter's in there as well. So I'm going to post on my normal timeline, and you put your message in there, and you can schedule it. And then all your scheduled posts come up down here. And there are instructions on PostCron, so I'm not going to spend much time looking at it. But what I can do, look, is I can multiply a post. How many times do you want to multiply the post? So 21 or less. So I could say 20 times. Okay. How many days do you want to leave between each repetition? So I might want to leave it, so I don't want to go crazy. I might want to leave it, say, 24 days between each one, and nobody will remember that 24 days ago Paul did that. Bit sort of 30 days once a month, and it's a very generic thing. I once got into 7 conversations with people just by posting that. What's everybody doing today?
So this saves you a lot of time. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, most of us, even if you've got a lot of time, and it's telling you here, look, the free version doesn't allow you to schedule more than 10 pending posts. Check our paid option. The paid option is something like €7 a month, so it's very, very cheap. Okay, and that will let you do a lot more. Here you go, view plans and prices. I'll show you. But the point is, if you're working or you're just trying to maximise your time, you might as well. It takes seconds to do. €7 a month. I don't know what that is in pounds. Mark will probably know. You're clever at this sort of stuff, Mark, aren't you?
€7. What, in pounds or dollars? It's about £5.
Yeah.
About £5. What's that? About $7.50, $8.
Yeah.
It's not a lot of money to basically have an employee putting posts out for you, and you can even get like content recommendations. Look. And you put watermarks on photos and things like that if you want to as well. I'm probably going to get that, guys. I haven't really had a lot of chance to play with it, but it's something that like I say, that post, what's everybody doing today, that works. People come and they tell you, especially as you grow your friends, because they check out your timeline. So for €7 a month, it's definitely worth doing, and I'll be signing up probably after this hangout, actually.
I think for me, Paul, something like this is great because it gives me that opportunity, say during the week, during the weekend, to actually just put a whole load of posts together, so that if I've got time during the week, I can. But if I haven't, I haven't got to worry about it, and at least I'm seen to be posting consistently. I think that the other thing I think you mentioned from memory, because I've used Hootsuite before. And that sort of puts a signature on the bottom, doesn't it, saying via Hootsuite? Does this have that same sort of thing or not?
This does. I don't know about the paid one.
Right.
Because I put a post out with it, and somebody said, "Oh, I use PostCron too," and I thought, "How did they know?" Looked, and it does say by PostCron.
Yeah.
However, it still gives you, like you say, that consistency. And I still got comments on stuff that I've scheduled, Mark, so it still works. Maybe it put the odd person off. Oh, he's scheduled it, whatever, because people used to level that about Hootsuite. But if people are worried about that, are they the people you want to work with in your business anyway?
Yeah, I mean, I used to use something like this quite a while ago when I was starting to spend a bit more time building a list. And one of the things that amazed me, I did exactly as you've just done and actually repeated the posts. And I used to do it, say, every 30 days, every 35 days. And it used to amaze me how every so often just someone would sign up for my list. And of course, to me, I'd done nothing. I was thinking, well, where did that come from? And you had to go back to see, and it was something that was, you'd automated that whole process.
Well, exactly. Like I say, if you've only got an hour a night, it's nice to come and sit down and have people to talk to, rather than have to go out and try and find them. It's always better if people come to you, or you've got that soft approach first. If you talk to 100 people about your business, you're only going to get 2% of them, if you're lucky, join your business straight off. If you make 2 connections with the same, speak to the same person twice, the conversion rate goes up to 3%. 4 times it goes up to, I think, 5%. But if you can contact the same person 12 times with a genuine conversation, not buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, conversion rate can go as high as 80%. Now, if I can get on Facebook, because it's running very slow, let's turn that off.
I think the other thing I'm just doing at the moment, Paul, sorry.
Yeah, come on.
Is, obviously on the right-hand side there, you've got a list of your friends. What I'm starting to do now is actually go back and look at old conversations and some of them are a few months, but just go back and say, how's it going again? And just strike up that conversation all over again.
Okay, well, what I do, Mark, is and here's another great tip for you. I just keep a little clipboard, and when I speak to somebody new, I just write their name on the clipboard on a piece of paper. And then what happens is, so I write down Rick Dawson. If I'd had a chat with Rick Dawson, I write his name down. If he was interested in joining our opportunity, then I'd I might put a note that he's interested, but generally I don't put any notes. The reason being, I can come and I can look at Mark Simmons. Have I spoken to Mark Simmons? Yeah, I have. And look, there's a complete, I won't show everybody, Mark, but there's a complete sort of reminder of what we spoke about. I won't show it, Mark, in case the police see it. But you see what I mean. All your notes are there naturally. Companies pay hundreds of pounds a month for fancy customer relationship manager software, and Facebook just has it all in there because you just scroll through the conversation. And I just use that sheet every now and again to look through and go, did I speak to Mark again? Oh, what did we talk about? Oh yeah, we have spoken, and there's the conversation. So what do I do then? I don't say, hi Mark, how's it going? I could, but generally I'll go to Mark's profile and I will like some of his posts and maybe comment on some of his posts, and then I'll go and contact him, just like I did there with Rick. Because
Paul,
yeah?
Sorry, the things that you were saying reminded me of a tape that I heard recently, or a video or whatever. There's got one guy, he said, correct me if you like it or not, but he said that if you can get in touch with a person and then you can find out their name of their sons or daughters and whether or not they're in Little League or they're in the 4-H club or they're in ballet or something like that, and something's coming up and maybe they're going into a competition, and then you contact them and they say, well, how did little Susie's competition go in? You are so far ahead of the competition in terms of being able to be a nice guy to that person. Does that make sense?
People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care.
Yeah.
Simple. So yeah, you could make notes about that, John. I used to know a guy who used to travel a lot.
Yeah.
And he used to, on the magazines and on the flights, he used to flick through, and if he saw something that was of interest, because like John, you like traveling. Yeah, Mark, you're in business. Sarah's got an old cottage in the Cotswolds. Shannon's son's in Cornwall at the minute. If he saw an article on Cornwall, he'd rip it out. And when he saw Shannon, he'd say, there you go, Shannon, I know your son went to Cornwall. Was he anywhere around here? I saw this, thought of you. Do you know what I mean? And that was a great thing to do. Anyway, we best press on because I've still got plenty to talk to. So you remember I said if you've got 3 things in common with somebody, here's a great way of doing that, and it's using the Facebook graph search. You can come up to the graph search, and not everybody knows about this. People who like, so I like 80s pop music because that's when I kind of grew up. So people who like Howard Jones, for example. And if they like Think and Grow Rich, what does that mean?
That means that they want to improve themselves.
Exactly. Do things straight away, and you can actually go further. So let's just do that though for now. So it's like you pick from down here which one's best, and it's going to be that one up there. Look, first one in this case. And you could, it pulled out there. Look, Napoleon Hill, and that had a lot of people as well. So I let it do its search. See, I'm friends with these because I've done this before. So there's more than 100 people. But what I can do now is I can come down here, friendship, and I can go, not my friends.
Okay.
I've still got more than 100 people, and I know none of these are my friends. And then I can also go current city as well if I want. Or I can add on the end here, and live in USA, because I'm targeting people that live in the USA. So people who are not my friends and Howard Jones and Think and Grow Rich and live in the United States. You can't get more targeted than that, can I?
Well, you could, but...
So then, how do I contact these people? What I normally do, obviously I've been through this process, look, so I have friends with them. So 2 ways of doing it. One, if you've got mutual friends, you can send them a message. Never just send a friend request, because that's how you get in Facebook jail. So don't just go down the list and go add friend, add friend, add friend.
No, I know.
If they don't add back, Facebook will soon put you in jail. Okay. So what you can do, you go message, and I can go, hi Eric, just going through my friends. I'm not going to send this. Yeah, a few mutual contacts. So how's it going? About half come back to me when I've done this. About 50%, which is pretty. So I can just do that, and I can go down the list, and I can copy that if I want, and just change the name in each one. I'm not a big fan of doing that, but if you press for time, why not? And you get the numbers in. What's better to do though is actually go to Eric's page. Now I know he likes Howard Jones, for example. So when I speak to these people, that is a nice way of talking to somebody without it being about business as well. Now look, I mean, obviously there, look, he's got a mixer, he's got
wow,
what are they called? Controllers. He's got mics, he's got a keyboard there, right? Okay.
Yeah, he's into it.
Sorry, John?
No, I just said he's into it.
Exactly. So what's this? Look, great photo shoot, Zero Studio, whatever. So I know he likes Howard Jones, and he's obviously into this sort of synths and stuff like that by the looks of it. So I could send him a personal message. Hey Eric, going through my friends, found you online, saw you like Howard Jones. So do I. Just looking at your equipment there. Is that yours? That would be a great personal message for him. And conversion rate in terms of people coming and answering me back when I do that is more like 75–80%. Just depends on the time you got, but it makes perfect sense. Yeah. Cool. So graph search, if you type stuff up here and you don't get that, what it will be, you need to come over here to your settings. And I think it's standard in US, but I don't think UK still yet. So what you need to do is make sure your language here is set to English US, and then Facebook will work for you. But seriously, I've tried it with loads. You can get loads of things out of graph search. It's really, really good. And you can't get more targeted. I say to people, look, speak to 5 people a day. Because that's what I was told when I first started, and I didn't do it, and I wish I had. I'd have a better business now. If you can just connect with 5 people a day, they're not necessarily new people, might be people before, but 5 people a day. With what I've shown you so far, guys, does anybody think they couldn't get 5 people to speak to a day with what I've shown you so far?
No. Can I ask you something else, Paul? I saw a graph telling us the best time to contact people in Facebook.
Yeah.
Do you have that chance? Any chance?
No, because the best time for me, John, is when I've got time to contact people.
Okay.
If you get off work at 10 o'clock at night, the best time to contact people is probably 10:30 after you've got in and made a cup of tea. If you finish work at 5, best time to contact people might be 6 or 7. When you've got in and had a chance to, I don't know, have a shower out, have some dinner, or whatever. The thing is, Facebook is like a 24-hour party. I've spoken to people that have been in the States when it's been 2 o'clock in the morning their time. There's always people online. I speak to people all over Australia, Philippines, US, UK, all over, Puerto Rico, you name it. It doesn't really matter. You only need 32 people in your team. So yeah, okay.
Also, the other thing.
So that.
Oh, sorry.
No, go on,
I was going to say the other thing is to like your own posts, because then it shows up in the right-hand column, so people have more chance of seeing it. Some people worry that you shouldn't do that, but actually you should.
Well, the other thing you should do, I'm glad you brought that up. The other thing you should do is you should actively go and like other people's posts. You should be friendly. You should like and comment on other people's posts, because Facebook see that and it's part of their algorithm. A lot of people won't see your posts. Not that many go out, but the more active you are, the more people see your stuff. It's part of the Facebook way of deciding what goes in people's news feeds on the timeline. So if you've done what I've shown you, where I've gone and I went to Rick's page and I liked a couple of his things and I made a comment on a couple of his things, it's not only good from the point of view of getting a soft approach and a warm and fuzzy with Rick, it's also good from a point of view when I put my posts out like that, why do people insist on sending me the link before they've even said hello? Then more people are going to see that because I've liked Rick's posts and commented on Rick's posts. And then the other thing that if you think about it, it's obvious when I tell you now, but because I got a good response out of that post, what am I going to do? I'm going to take it and put it in Postcron, and I'm going to make sure it goes out at least once a month.
Yeah.
So all you're going to do is keep putting out your most successful posts.
The other thing I wanted to mention was that when I go onto someone's timeline and I look at their interests and I see what groups they're in, if you hover over their groups, it will come up whether you are a member of that group or not. If I'm not a member, I make the time to go and join that group. So like you, I'm now up to about 1,800 groups on my main profile.
Okay, we need to talk about groups, and that's next actually. No, it's not Friendship Ladder next. Let's talk about Friendship Ladders. If you're really struggling to get friends, there's a group and it's called 5k Friends in 30 Days, and it's brilliant. And this is what's got me a lot of friends over the last few days. In fact, I've got how many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've had 6 friend requests in the last 2 hours that I'll accept, but I like to talk to them and go, hi Gary, thanks for the friend request, how's it going? It's better to talk to them rather than just accept them. Okay, but this group here, 5k Friends in 30 Days, what it is, the instructions are on the page. So again, I'm running short of time, I don't want to sort of labour the point. You can watch his videos, he explains it all brilliantly. But these people will let you add them, basically. Please add me for networking and friends only. So am my
Sorry,
friend
Paul.
Penny? No,
Paul.
I'm not. So I can go and add friend.
Sorry, Paul.
Yeah.
You said something a few moments ago. If people are friend requesting you, and you get a whole pile of those, and you look at them and you say, well, the first thing I do is I look at my mutual friends, and then I look to see their about me, because I want to find out if they're from the States or from Canada, somewhere where I can relate to. If they're not, then I just ignore them. Am I doing the wrong thing?
Yeah, I'd accept the request. I'd talk to them. Okay. You know when I showed you the graph search there, and and it said you had mutual friends.
Yeah.
Your network increases. You know that you've heard of 6 degrees of separation, where they say, don't they, that you can reach anybody in the world just by going through 6 levels.
Yeah.
I know Mark knows Sarah, Sarah knows Shannon, Shannon knows John, John knows the President of the United States.
Jeez, why would you want to?
So the more networking you can do, the better. And when you say you want to know where they're from and all that, sure, go and look at their timeline. But then you can talk to them and say, oh, I see you living in Ohio. I've been to Ohio, great place. Whatever. I should have chosen somewhere I could pronounce. New York. Oh, I see you live in New York. I've been to New York. Or you could just ask them.
Yeah.
Warm and fuzzy. So this is the sort of thing you get on the page. Look, this is an ideal one to show you here. This is in that group, 5K Friends in 30 Days. If I view previous comments, there's 152 comments there. And they're all saying, add me. So I can hover over all of them. And if my computer was going fast, there you go, look. I can go and get 152 friends here. They will all accept my friend request. So it's great for getting some numbers in. And when you put yourself at the bottom, sorry guys, because my computer's going really slow because it's broadcasting. But I will put at the bottom, add me. Lost it now. But I'll just put myself at the bottom, add me, and I'll get friend requests. I'll get a lot of friend requests that way. And it is up to you if you want to accept them or not, John. But again, it's all about network increases the more friends you get. And this is a very painless way. The only thing I'd say, obviously, is why are they doing it? Because they want to increase their networking as well. Yeah. They're all in a business. So the beauty of what we do with Explosive, like I say, it's non-threatening to another business. In fact, it will help grow another business by about 30%. If they're in America, they can easily save the cost of Explosive based on the savings they get. So it makes it kind of a no-brainer in a lot of ways. Plus, obviously, they get the training from Darren. So, we've got a great opportunity that's probably easier for them to come on board with us than for us to go and join their weight loss deal or their makeup business or whatever. But, it's a filtering process. You're just filtering people all the time. Do they, pique their interest, get them onto a hangout, with Darren. Darren's willing to do it for us when we can get him, which is very cool, but there's obviously trainers he's got. So all you do is talk to people, pique their interest, send them. If they're interested, great. If they're not, cool, what you got planned for the weekend, and just carry on chatting. Forget selling, network. That's what it's all about. So, any questions on friendship ladders? Excellent. Right.
No, but I got another question, and I think Mark beat me.
Okay.
No, what I was saying was that I just need to do it.
Yeah, you just need to get on and do it. But you know you need to get on and do it. But sometimes people don't know until they actually see it, and you've just seen me do it. So you can see how easy it is now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing scary about it. You just, if you went to I used to go to a networking club, and the first time you go, it's scary because you don't know anybody. At least here, you are hidden behind a computer screen. I've got notes written down here, so I know what I'm going to talk to you all about tonight. Nobody knows that. So if somebody watching go, oh yeah, he knows his stuff, doesn't he? but I've made sure I've written it down to make sure I do know my stuff. People can't see that. So if you need cheat sheets or whatever, have cheat sheets. Next week I'm going to share a script with you, an actual script of what to say to people. So if you really, really are stuck, you'll have a script you can follow. But in the meantime, like I say, it's just about making friends. Hi, how you doing? Oh, I see you live in New York. I've always wanted to go to New York. What's it like this time of year? People will tell you. Oh, I've seen your photos. You've got kids. How old are your kids? People will tell you. Oh, I've got a son. Oh, you do karate. I used to do taekwondo. Very similar. You see what I mean? You're just finding those three things in common. Like John said, warm and fuzzy. So groups are the next things. Sorry, did you have a question, John? Sorry.
Yes. I was in Tesco today, and I bumped into some people from Utility Warehouse. Trying to get me to sign up because of Win a Mini event. It struck me as that we need to get something where we can talk to people and on a present day situation, whatever here. I don't necessarily want to get into a conversation with them at the booth, but I wouldn't mind getting their phone number and having a chat with them sometime down in the future. How have you handled any of those kind of situations? What have you done? Do you have a business card?
What you mean?
Yeah, I mean.
No, I just talk to people on Facebook.
So you ignore the people that you meet face to face?
No, not at all. I mean, I've recruited. Recruiting's a horrible word. I've sponsored people.
Right.
That I know. Sarah. I knew Sarah. And the thing is, if there's a good fit,
yeah,
then you introduce it to people. There's plenty of people out there that you don't have to try and pressure anybody into joining. Believe me, business partners, you can literally pick and choose who you want to work with. Obviously, they've got to want to work with you. But what I'm saying is, you don't have to be desperate. In fact, I mean, we tend to work in groups of 4. Okay, you work in building blocks of 4. When you see a brick, they have holes in, and that it looks the same when you draw out a chart and you draw like a circle at the top. That's you and 4 people underneath. If you can go and recruit 8 people, you give away 3 as pass-ups. That leaves you 5 that you get paid on. If each of those goes out and does the same, they'll give you 3 pass-ups each. That's 15 on that level. The level after that, level 3, if those 15 do the same, and their pass-ups get pass-ups for you, that will give you 45. Works out to 65 people. That's $100,000 a year residual in just 3 levels, and everybody only getting 8. And with what I've just shown you here, can you see how you can never run out of people to talk to? So even if you're the most terrible network marketer in the world, somebody will just feel sorry for you at some point and join anyway. It's just how many no's can you take to get there. But if you do it right, there's no rejection. And again, that's another training for another time.
Paul, we only have one mother.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying that my mom, she was at one time she decided to get sponsored by me.
Right. Okay. Is that the only person? Right. Okay. Right. Groups. Now, there's loads and loads of groups, and you search for them. You just search for them normal up here. Okay. I've got a list of groups, and I can share that with people. We give it to people in our team. A list of 1,000 groups that have all got literally, say, an average of 10,000 people in each. So that's 10 million people that you actually got in these groups. Obviously, there's some crossover, but you can come up here and you can search for MLM. If you want dog lovers, if you got something in common, like Sarah's got dogs, so Sarah might search dogs, and then if you click down here, look, see more results for dogs. We're looking for the groups. And you could use graph search, people who like dogs and Think and Grow Rich. You could do that. So, groups. And then I can go and I can join these groups and I can go and talk to people in the groups. So I see Chad Oxtad's in that group. Chad's a big marketer online. So he's doing this, obviously. But if we were going to search for, say, you know, Telex Free, because Telex Free got closed down or is in the process of being closed down, I understand. Again, guys, sorry, my computer's just so slow because it's recording. But you've seen that. You can search for any group you like. Now, what I do, the way I was taught, Facebook graph search is more powerful than this. Oh, come on, this is ridiculously slow. Right, so go in this group here, work from home. I'm sure it will get there eventually. I think the little mouse that runs the wheel that powers it is getting tired. Here we go. Right, so there's 7,221 members in this group. Now, Sarah, when you said you're up to 1,800 groups now, that's very good. But there's another technique I'm going to show you where if you're going to post in these groups on a regular basis, if you're in a group that's only got a couple of hundred members, most of those people will not be active, I promise you. So what happens is your message sits at the top there. And then when you go and post it again next time, whether it's manual or you're using a mass poster, which we're going to talk about in a sec, but your post will be there on top of your other post, on top of your other post, on top of your other post. That's when people accuse you of spamming. And if you get accused of spam, that's when Facebook can close down your page. So I suggest, to be honest, you try and join groups that are big groups, because you put a message up there and it soon disappears. But in the time it's taken to disappear, more people will have seen it than in a group of like 500 people. So it's worth joining bigger groups. I try and stick to about 8,000 or more. So obviously I can put a post in a group, but guys, you know, it's not likely to work. Most people up pitch. There's no interaction on this. There's no interaction on that. No interaction on that. No interaction on that. No interaction on that. It's just all, you know, pitch. That's not what we do. So we could put a message in a group, and you can do it manually, copy and paste. You could put, I just watched a great webinar. You see how slow my computer is? It won't even keep up with me typing. How to generate leads online for free.
With Mark, Sarah, and John.
The link. Yeah. So what will happen then is some people will message you and ask you for the link, and some people will comment and ask you for the link on here. Okay. So the thing I would say though is that on one group probably won't get me anywhere, and you've got to post into a lot of groups to get a small response. And this is why a lot of people say, oh, it's not worth it. Personally, I've had a lot of success with groups because I never pitch and I never put links. And again, Facebook are less likely to ban you if you don't put links in. So I just do something like that, okay? And then, if you want, you can use a mass poster. Again, I'm not going to spend time showing you the ins and outs of it, but you can get a mass poster. Again, people in our team, I'll give them a mass poster. You know, I'll let them share an account I've got, in other words, so I can't guarantee it'll work forever. But you can just come in here, put that same message in, post to groups, and you put some settings in here. You put your message in there, and you select yes, I want to post into groups, and off it will go, and it will put one post in a minute, and then leave a break, and then post some more, and then have a break, and then post some more. And that's, again, if you've only got an hour a day or something like that, this is a great way of just speeding up that process. But sometimes I can post into a lot of groups and get zero response. Sometimes I can post into a few groups and one day I got 14 leads. 14 people come to me asking me how to do it, yeah, and asking for help. So it's just a case of it's random, but it takes so little time to set up and do. It's something in your arsenal, something else you can do. So if we come back here, the other thing you can do is you can go direct and you can go, okay, this has got all these members here, and there's 5,124 new members, and you can actually go and select the new members. Waiting. But then it's just the same, you know, go and check out the timeline. Hi MD, I've seen that you've recently joined Earn Money from Home group. Just wondered how you were getting on. What business are you in? You know, there's no script really, because everybody's an individual. And, you know, again, if you're at a networking event or something like that, or a party, you probably would tend to say the same sort of things to people, but not necessarily the same all the time. Okay, let's get rid of that page. Any questions before I come off screen?
Yeah, Chris and Susan Beasley today said on a post that they do not use groups or auto posting anymore. It just, you know, just doesn't work. I'm wondering what your thoughts are on that. I really like everything you've done so far today.
Am I? No, I'm not back on camera yet, am I? Here we go. Okay, my thoughts on it are, Chris and Susan Beasley are great marketers, don't get me wrong, they've done really, really well. I did $2,500 residual, and that was largely using Facebook groups to get my contacts, to get my people to talk to.
Yeah.
Conversations over clicks. If you post links into groups, I would agree it doesn't work. It's probably a waste of time. But having said that, I know a guy made $400 the other day by posting into groups and promoting something that sells for $100. So, you know, it can work, but it's got kind of in the industry, because most people just spam. If you don't put any spam in it and you're using and you're adding value, then I don't see a problem with it. And the other thing to say is, I mean, I used to work at Hillary's Blinds, and they gave me £1 million as an advertising budget. That was my budget for my region that I looked after, and I had to spend it within 1% either way. And it was a disciplinary offence if your area manager came and looked through the papers for the area and said, Paul, you're not in this paper, why not? And I had to prove to him that we'd advertised in it and it didn't give us a response, and that's why we weren't in it. I had to look for every single advertising opportunity there was in the area. And it's the same with this. You know, why you only need 32 people. Any one of the methods I've just shown you can get you 5 people a day to talk to. But especially if your time is short, why would you not maybe want to spend 5 minutes, which is all it takes, setting up a mass post to go out? Why would you not want Postcron doing your popular posts that work really well for you? So that's like hands off. And like Mark said, you could spend probably an hour on a rainy Saturday afternoon setting up a few that will go out regularly over time. And then the rest of the time, the other sort of 50 minutes you've got, then you can actually do the proper talking to people. And we're going to cover what to say tomorrow with Darren, and next week on our regular hangout we'll talk about what to actually say to people. But all of those things there, am I wrong? Can everybody do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's a judgment call, and I think we're all grown-ups and we're sensible about not spamming, being careful with your links, how much time you've got a day. I mean, I just have a simple rule, which is I spend 1 to 2 hours a day, every day, and that's following liking, commenting some personal posts and some auto posting, and it works, you know.
I think the nice thing about auto posting,
you know.
Yeah, I think the nice thing about auto posting is if you do like I've just shown you, people come to you.
They do. One thing I wanted to ask you, Paul, was I've just had, while we've been on, 4 people follow me. Don't know how that's happened, but yeah, you know, they have. Do you always go back and follow people?
Yeah, I do, but if you're friends with them, it happens automatically anyway.
Right.
I do follow some people, again, as part of that soft approach. follow them without sending a friend request, like a comment, make a comment on one of their things, yeah, on one of their posts, and they see it. Paul Turner just liked your post. Paul Turner just commented on your post. Paul Turner is following you. Who's this Paul Turner? You know, and then you might send them a message saying, oh, you know, hi Sarah, I just found you in the Alsatian dog group. Like your post about, I like that joke you put. Really funny. How's it going? Then they come back and they say, yeah, it's going great, thanks. Have you got a dog? And you talk or whatever, and you go, I'll shoot you a friend request.
The other thing I always make sure I do, if I spend my hour a day going through some of my 1800 groups and just picking out some of them to do personally, while I'm in there, I won't particularly spend a lot of time reading stuff, but something will catch my eye and I'll always at least like a couple of things while I'm in there. It takes me a couple of seconds, so at least it's showing the group admins and people you are engaging.
There is a technique, and I don't like it, but there is a technique that if I go into a group and I put my business opportunity in there, you know, our vitamins are great, come and join us, to be honest with you, they're not really marketing the right way. Okay, now if it works for them, great, but you saw there was absolutely zero engagement on any of those posts. So if you go and you comment, oh, looks great, and you like it, people come and contact you because they think you're interested in joining their business. Now, I don't like that approach, but I do know people that have done it, and you do get people to speak to, and then you can kind of turn it around and you can say, so how does posting into the groups actually work for you? And they'll go, oh yeah, great, whatever. And say, how many people you got in your team? Well, I had 3, but 2 dropped out. So, you know, you can actually turn it around and help them learn to market. You know, what I say is the right way. I only mean because it's worked for me and it's worked for other people, and it's worked really well for the Platinum 200 team, which, you know, I'm part of and we're part of. So it is a technique. I'll put it out there, and if you're happy to do it, go for it. Have a question?
Yeah, you know, it's a judgment call. I don't like what I call artifice, you know. I just prefer to be myself. I think you do find your own level, you find your own balance, and just follow your gut feeling and be sensible, and you'll find your own voice. It's all a journey for all of us, and, you know, you'll attract the followers. It's like being a magnet. You'll attract the followers you're meant to attract.
I'd agree with that. It's just a case of just be yourself, show some
interest. It really is. And we've all got an interesting history, different careers, different interests, different upbringings, different geographies, you know, and people like that. I love the way Paul started this hangout by telling a story. People loved storytelling.
Yeah, but that reminds me of a post you wrote just recently, Paul. Was it just in Varengia?
Yeah.
An Empower Network, in terms of if you're not genuine, then you know, social media has a long life, doesn't it? And you get found out eventually.
It does. Yes. Unfortunately, and just in Varengia did get found out.
Yeah.
Say no more. It's a real shame, but there you go.
Yeah.
Bit of controversy there to end the hangout.
He's laughing all the way to the bank.
What happened there?
I know, but see, that's not. I don't like it. Okay. I think we should wrap it up because we've been going just over an hour. You guys have been asking questions as we've gone, as we've gone along, which is great. So that's kind of taken up the hour. So there, unless anyone wants to finish with anything.
Well, I've had 6 friend requests while we've been on, so thank you for the friendship ladder tip.
Yeah, I've been doing that as well.
Yeah.
I've had 4, so not quite as good as Sarah.
So we've been working. It's good.
Is that from joining that 5K group?
Yeah.
Well, I typed in 5K in 30 days, and up came about 6 or 8 groups. So I just clicked on joining them all while we were on.
Yeah, it's you know, it's like people that say I'm nobody to speak to. Is like I used to be like that.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone. I never go out. I'm always working. I don't know anyone. And then I was introduced to this, and it's like, oh, Paul, I've been an idiot. I've been such an idiot.
I think my takeaway, lots of takeaways. Thanks, Paul. One of my big takeaways from tonight is think of it as if you're at a party. I love that. Keep that in mind. That so works for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, guys. Assignment until next week then is just to go and try and have 5 connections a day. Just say hi, reach out to people. How's it going? Just sort of see what's going on.
Thanks for your
Don't
time.
forget that 3 things in common.
Yeah, lots of really good stuff. Thanks, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Good night, everybody.